Your attention, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are outside and under the sound of my voice, this is a last boarding call. We are kindly inviting you in. We will be taking off imminently. Those of you who are outside, please may you make your way inside the venue, and please may you take your seats. We will be starting imminently. A brief reminder again of our restrooms. They are located out through the exit. Sharp turn to your left, you'll find the restrooms for both ladies and gents. And then we hope that we've all had our breakfast. If you haven't had your breakfast, please indulge us a few minutes as we get the pre-symposium formalities out of the way, and then we'll ask you at your own leisure to go to the serving point and access your breakfast. We do have our team from the Zimbabwe Football Association, which is on hand at the registration desk. Should you have any questions, should you require any information, they are at your service and eager to help and to assist you. So those of you who are outside, I take it there may be one or two individuals. We'll give them about 15 seconds and then we'll take off. All right. So it's a very good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and once again, welcome to the COSAFA Youth Football Development and Investment Breakfast Symposium, which is, of course, brought to you by the Council of Southern African Football Associations in conjunction with the Zimbabwe Football Association. My name is Mike Madoda, and I'm going to be your MC this very morning. Now, to get our event underway, I'm going to invite all of us to rise to our feet for the singing of our national anthem. We're going to ask multimedia to assist us with that. If I could sing, I would sing, but I'd rather spare you. Thank you. If we could all be seated. The Director General of the Sports and Recreation Commission, the SRC, Elta Nengomasha, the Executive Director of COSAFA, Sue Distombis, and her team, Francis Makonese, Javu Mativela, and Lunga Thomas, the President of the Zimbabwe Football Association, Mr. Ngovile Magwizi, our Vice Presidents in absentia, Mr. Kennedy Ndebele and Ms. Loveness Mukura, Executive Committee Member present, Ms. Kudzai Kadzombe, the General Secretary of the Zimbabwe Football Association, Ms. Yvonne Manwa. Would also like to acknowledge the presence of several of our partners at the Zimbabwe Football Association. I saw Madam Taribo from UNFPA. Thank you so much for being here, Madam. We would also like to acknowledge, of course, the commercial manager of the Zimbabwe Football Association, Mr. Mark Ruck, and his team who are present, as well as other members of the ZIFA Secretariat who are present. Invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, members of the Fourth Estate, without whom the beautiful story of the beautiful game would not be told. We want to welcome you this morning, and we want to thank you all for being here. Without further ado, I would like to invite forward to give us our opening and welcome remarks and an overview of why we are here this morning. We invite the Deputy Executive Director for COSAFA, Mr. Francis Makonese. Let's put our hands together for Mr. Francis Makonese as he comes forward.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, honorable guests, the distinguished speakers, our partners, and all football enthusiasts here. I would like to give you a warm welcome to the Total Africa Cup of Nations Under-17 COSAFA Qualifier 2025 Breakfast Symposium. It is both an honor and a privilege to stand before you as we open this pivotal event, a celebration of talent, partnership, and the future of Zimbabwe and Southern African football. COSAFA is more than a football body. It is the foundation of Southern African football development. Through tournaments like this Under-17 Boys Qualifier, we provide a platform for young talent to shine, for stories to be told, and for dreams to take flight. This tournament is not just about the players on the pitch. It is about match officials, the coordinators, the media, and every individual who contributes to the beautiful game. Today, we gather to witness the next chapter of Southern African football. The top 3 teams from this qualifier will advance to the Africa Cup of Nations Under-17 Boys Tournament. And from there, awaits 10 teams that will qualify for the FIFA Under-17 Boys World Cup. This is where the journey begins. From the grassroots of Mpandawana Gutu, Slobela, Chikombedzi, Mondoro, Mbare, Sakuva to the global stage. Football thrives when we work together. The relationship between governments, football associations, and international bodies like COSAFA, CAF, and FIFA must be a tripartite alliance, aligned in purpose and united in action. Today, we recognize the critical role of good governance, which our esteemed speakers will highlight. In terms of our order of proceedings, we're going to start with the ZIFA President, Mr. Ngovile Magwizi, presenting the state of football. He will share insights into Zimbabwe's football reset, building trust, talent, and resilience. His leadership is pivotal in shaping the future of our game. From the Sports and Recreation Commission, we'll have a discussion on governance and support in building a resilient football structure in Zimbabwe. Their role as government ensures that football development is anchored in strong institutional frameworks. From COSAFA, we'll hear from Jabuma Tibela, who will present COSAFA's marketing and sponsorship proposal, showcasing how the organization will align with your vision. Whether through this under-17 tournament or on a broader COSAFA initiative scale, there's a place for every partner in this story. From Yvonne Manwat, the ZIFA CEO, she will present on the comprehensive tournament overview, including participating teams, venues, logistics. This is where strategy will meet execution. We'll then hear from legends and current players who will inspire us through the lens of experience, reminding us why we invest in youth football and in the future. For closing remarks, we'll hear from the COSAFA Executive Director, Sue Daytom, who will together reinforce our collective mission. And at the end, we'll have a networking session where we'll transition into a B2B networking opportunity where ideas can flourish and partnerships can take root. To our partners and potential sponsors, FIFA's mission is clear. Every talent deserves a chance. Maybe this under-17 tournament is your gateway, or perhaps Mr. Matebela's presentation will reveal even greater opportunities to align with COSAFA's vision. Whatever your purpose, your support fuels the dreams of young players and the growth of African football. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the world of football development. Together, we can build a legacy that transcends borders and generations. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's put our hands together one more time there to the Deputy Executive Director at COSAFA, Mr. Francis Makonese. Without further ado, and I think without further gilding of the lily, as it were, I would like to invite to the podium the President of the Zimbabwe Football Association, Mr. Ngoile Magwizi, to speak to us, of course, about the Zimbabwe Football Reset, building trust, talent, and resilience. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Magwizi.
Thank you, Mike. I want to recognize the Executive Director of COSAFA, Sue. It's an honor to have you here. The Deputy Director, Francis. The rest of the team from COSAFA, we're grateful that you are here. I also want to recognize members of the Executive Committee of ZIFA. We have Madam Kudzai Kadzombe. Please just raise your hand maybe so that people can see you. She is our chair for the Marketing Committee. I also want to recognize my General Secretary, Yvonne Manwa. For those of you who don't know her, please, Yvonne, just raise your hand so that people may see you. I want to also recognize members of the various committees, ZIFA committees, board committees who are here. We have a number of them. Colleagues, you are most welcome. I also want to recognize the Secretariat, who are members of the Secretariat who are here. I think Mark has been doing a sterling job. He's just joined ZIFA, and he's head of commercial. He's done a fantastic job, and I want to welcome you with the rest of the Secretariat members who are here. He deserves a round of applause indeed. Thank you. Now, I also would like to recognize all our partners who are here. I'm tempted to go into the names, but I'm afraid that I might miss out one, and then I'll get into trouble. You know how much we love you as our partners, and we've been working on these relationships so that we can strengthen them and transform that when we look back maybe 20 years from now, we can celebrate and say, that was the time when we transformed football in Zimbabwe. So I thank you all for being here this morning. It is both an honor and a privilege to welcome you to this important gathering, the Youth Football Development and Investment Breakfast Symposium. On behalf of Zimbabwe Football Association, allow me to extend our heartfelt appreciation to all of you for joining us today. Your presence here is a clear testament to the growing consensus that youth football development is not merely a sporting pursuit, it is a national imperative. As we look ahead to September, when Zimbabwe will proudly host the 2025 COSAFA Under-17 Boys Championship, today's symposium serves as a vital purpose. It is a call to reflection, to responsibility, and to renewed ambition. So it is an opportunity to reset. You know the history of Zimbabwean football. And we have this opportunity to reset Zimbabwean football. And we are grateful to COSAFA because you're making this possible. It is an opportunity for us to forge a new path for Zimbabwe, which is anchored in trust, talent, and resilience. I'm going to expound why I'm using those three words: trust, talent, and resilience. Trust, because we must rebuild confidence in our systems, from grassroots to the elite level. We must assure the footballing public, our corporate partners, our communities, and most importantly, the players themselves, that Zimbabwe Football Association is committed to transparency, accountability, and excellence. I'm going to speak to talent. Talent, because our greatest resource as a nation is not the gold or the lithium that you've heard people speak about, or the platinum that Zimplat is mining out of Norton. But it is our young people. That's the greatest resource of any nation. It's young people. Their talent, when nurtured, with care and purpose, has the power to transform not just football, but the very spirit of a nation. Resilience. Resilience, because the journey ahead is not without its challenges. But we draw strength from the knowledge that Zimbabwe has always risen. And our football story will be no different. Ladies and gentlemen, as we prepare to host the COSAFA Under-17 Championship, we are reminded that this tournament is more than a sporting fixture. It is a platform, it is a catalyst. It is a signal that Zimbabwe is once again ready to take its rightful place as a beacon of youth football development in Southern Africa and beyond. And let us be clear, the COSAFA tournament is not the culmination of our efforts. It is the beginning of a new chapter. We view this championship as a launch pad, one that will reinvigorate youth structures across all our 10 provinces in Zimbabwe. It will stimulate infrastructure, investment, expand scouting networks, and deepen technical development programs right across Zimbabwe. We are also acutely aware that no meaningless, or rather meaningful progress can be achieved without partnership. This is why we have all our partners. We have invited you to be here, because we realize that we can never achieve all this which we are talking about without our partners. So today we speak directly to the corporate world, to our development agencies such as the UNFPA, the philanthropic organizations. Investing in youth football is investing in Zimbabwe's future. It's not just football. It's more than football. The return on such an investment, or those of you who are financially minded, the ROI, is not only measured in trophies and glory, but in the upliftment of our communities. The creation of jobs, the development of life skills, and the provision of hope. This world needs hope. So football keeps young boys and girls off the streets, helps them to dream big. Interestingly, today I listened to an advert sponsored by SIDA, the Swedish agency. They have an advert there of a girl who had been using drugs. And she said she had been using the drugs for 2 years. Who's had this advert? You've heard the advert, right? The girl has been using these drugs for 2 years, and she was a footballer. And I said, okay, a footballer. And she had now stopped because, she realized that she was going the wrong path. And this is what we can do together, where we take young people off the streets to something meaningful. We need your partnership to keep the dreams of these young people alive. Let us take a moment to look back, to remind ourselves of what this country is capable of producing when the youth development pipeline is functional. I saw one of the legends, Alois Bunga, a name etched in our football history. Alois would tell you he was not born a star. He was shaped by youth football. Was it Grabowski? One of the, yes. He was mentored, developed through the structures, through the various age groups, the pathways that had been created. He was called to the national team and exposed to international football from a very young age. Today, he stands as a testament to what Zimbabwean football can achieve when we invest early, consistently, and with purpose. Those of you who do not know Alois, please just take a stand, Alois, so that they may see you. Let's give him a round of applause, please. Thank you. There is also another young man, Emmanuel Jalai. He is currently the captain of Dynamos. And of course, now a mainstay in the Warriors as a defender. He too emerged from the youth system and representing the country at junior level, earning his stripes through discipline, guidance, and opportunity. Jalai is not just a player, he's also a symbol of what is possible when we believe in our youth. So their stories remind us that the next Bunjira or the next Jalai may be training on the dust pitches today. But with the right investment and support, there will be national heroes tomorrow. Colleagues, friends, and football lovers, we gather here not just to speak, but to act. Let us view today as the beginning of a new covenant between ZIFA, the government of Zimbabwe, our regional colleagues from COSAFA, the private sector, and all the people of Zimbabwe. A covenant to do the right, or to do that which is right for our youth. And to the coaches, academies, teachers, parents, and volunteers who toil daily, of course, with little recognition, we salute you as ZIFA. ZIFA is committed to providing you with better structures, clearer pathways, and greater support. And to the business community, we are here to work with you Let us create tailored partnerships that deliver impact, value, and shared success, whether through sponsorship, infrastructure support, talent development, or education initiatives. There is a role for you to play in shaping the future of Zimbabwe. And to our international partners and fellow football associations, we invite you to walk this journey with us. Let us learn from each other, grow together, and build bridges of collaboration that go beyond competition. In closing, I want to reaffirm ZIFA's unwavering belief that this is our moment. We are resetting Zimbabwean football, not because it's easy, but because it is necessary. We will rebuild trust by being accountable to the game and to the nation. We will develop talent by being intentional in our investment in youth. And we will foster resilience by standing together, unshaken by adversity and driven by purpose. Let us make September not a peak, but our springboard. Let us ensure that 10 years from now, we'll point back to this moment, to this event, to this championship and say, this is where we changed all. I thank you.
Let's put our hands together one more time for the president of the Zimbabwe Football Association, Mr. Ngoile Magwizi, speaking there on the football reset that is currently underway in Zimbabwe. The efforts by the Zimbabwe Football Association to build trust, and of course through events and tournaments of this nature, to build talent and resilience. It's going to be a long but exciting journey ahead. And I think the one thing that is clear is that the Zimbabwe Football Association has got a plan for the journey ahead. So we want to thank you for your words. And there's a saying that says that there is no vision without a visionary. And so we're so grateful for the leadership, Mr. Magwizi, that you and your executive committee are showing, and the work that you're putting to transform Zimbabwean football. With that, would like to invite forward one of our speakers from the Confederation, the Council of Southern African Football Associations, COSAFA, Mr. Jabu Matibela, to come and speak to us about the marketing and commercial opportunities that lie ahead with this tournament coming. Please put our hands together for Mr. Matibela.
Thank you, sir. May I call on the IT guy just to help me in making dreams happen? I thought I knew what I was doing, but clearly this is a lot more intimidating. Okay, I'll try. He said I must just press start. The IT guys, are you able to help? Please come now. No, it's fine. I will hold it. While we're waiting for the IT team, I would like to commence my conversation in taking the lead from what the president spoke to, which is trust, talent, and resilience. Zimbabwe will be hosting the Total Energies Under-17 COSAFA qualifiers. For that to happen, ZIFA cannot do it alone. For ZIFA to reset and reorganize itself after the current or the recent restructuring, it will require men and women like yourselves in the business sector to come and join and ensure that we fully reset football in this country and we take football to where it's supposed to be. It is very discouraging to notice that Zimbabwe is helping South Africa to qualify for the World Cup by playing a game in South Africa. It starts here. ZIFA are ready to move the needle, but they cannot move the needle alone. They require private sector to do so. My theme today is about investing in the future of Southern African football, not just Zimbabwe, but holistically. But I won't feel bad if you become selfish about it and prefer to only invest in Zimbabwe. Sorry, there's just a lot happening here. So this is not just a football story. It's a Southern African story of football. It starts here. It is a growth story that we are selling to you. It is a legacy story, and today we invite you to be part of it. You are not just supporting a tournament in supporting this event, but you're reigniting belief. You are building nations, starting with your own, and you are investing in the promise of our region, which is key. As you all are aware, football powers remained in the north as well as the west of Africa for the longest of time. But we are making strides. The south is beginning to make an impact in Africa. And for us to continue to make that impact, we need you as the public sector. The purpose of me standing here, I'm the only guy with a laptop. A guy with a laptop means he also has an invoice attached to it. I am here to sell you sponsorship, and I'm going to be blunt about it. We are not here to have fun. We are here to grow football and grow football together with yourselves. But sponsorship shouldn't just be seen as a transaction, right? It must be seen as a partnership that has potential. Are you helping me, my man? Are people not seeing what I'm doing? Okay. You didn't miss a lot, because whatever I spoke to would have been in this document one way or the other. I was speaking about sponsorship. In many ways than not, sponsorship is considered a transaction, but ours is not a transaction. We want to sell you a dream that can, in turn, impact your brand resonance with your audience. Now, marketing is something amazing, right? Sponsorship is one of those pillars. Most of you think advertising is the silver bullet, but that is not the case, right? Advertising in my world is similar to waving to the customer, while sponsorship is shaking their hands and saying, my name is Jabu, and what's your name? You achieve a lot more through sponsorship versus advertising. I'm not suggesting do not advertise, but do dual. At COSAFA, we don't just want brands to be seen, right? We want them to be felt by the audiences, in the communities and in the hearts of the fans, which is why we're here today. And that, to me, is the power of sponsorship. Now, we've got nothing on the screens, but I will tell you, believe me, what I'm telling you is true, even if you don't see it. What you would have been seeing now is a portfolio of calendar of COSAFA holistically, right? And the holistic calendar started as way back as May with multiple events that have happened. And from there on, literally every month, we have an activity on the go, right? In Free State, very recently, we had COSAFA Cup, which Angola won. And we followed that in July in Namibia with COSAFA Under 20 men and women. And Botswana are currently, or they've completed the Women's Championships, right? And now the next step is yourselves, which is the qualifier, right? That is your pride and joy. That is your moment to own the platform. And ownership of that platform means you gotta partner with us to grow it. Oh, there you go. My friend, you should have been here from the first minute.
Yes, I'll be here.
Don't leave in case it goes away. So this is really the timelines of activities that we have. So whilst we are asking of you to support the gig in September in Zimbabwe, life doesn't stop there. COSAFA gives you a platform and presence to market your propositions across multiple opcos. Most of you as brands, you don't only exist in Zimbabwe, you exist in probably more than 4 or 5 opcos in the region. Therefore, any events that are happening in the region, you do have an opportunity to play a role, and that role is here. There's the Nedbanks of this world, there's Mukurus, there's all sorts of brands that are here. You have an opportunity to partner with us beyond just today's, or rather, the event that's coming. Now, to be direct, the sponsorship opportunities that we're asking of you, we are asking of 4 category opportunities. We are looking for associate partners, whom I will take you through what does that look like. We are also looking for platform advertising only, and lodging partners as well as VIK partners. Now, let's speak English. We are looking for associate partners. So things are not happening as I desire, because I'm playing a balancing act. We are looking for multiple partners. And really, the first partner, apologies. I'm navigating, I'm holding the laptop so it doesn't fall as well. So we are firstly looking for an associate partner. We are looking at up to 6 partners. This is a premium package that we are offering to yourselves as brands. And the second package is advertising only. Each of those carries some form of associate rights. I can see I'm dealing marketers. Look at them, all on their cameras, all taking pictures, looking to purchase. But you don't have to worry, we are still here. There's a gentleman seated here. I'm going to ask him to stand so you can see him. Immediately after this meeting, we can set up breakaway sessions and we can individualize these conversations. Does that sound right? I see everyone is. Lunga, if you could stand so they can see exactly who will be coordinating this. Lunga Thomas is the marketing officer of COSAFA. He will be assisting us in coordinating the sessions. We will have breakaway rooms or breakaway sessions where individually you can look at what tickles your fancy as a brand, right? I'm not going to go into each detail exactly what those rights entail, but the rights are wholesomely beneficial in that they are more than what we are asking of you. But I will be clear to say associate partner rights, we will be asking of you for a mere $30,000, which comes with a myriad of rights, endless rights to be precise. And then the advertising only, it's those guys who are just looking to put up a perimeter board. We will give you that right for as little as $12,000, and that applies to all matches that will be played. And the lodging and VIK as well, they also have their own different packages. So I'm not going to go into details exactly what they are. But the essence here and the reality here is, ladies and gentlemen, you need to partner with us. If you do not partner with COSAFA and ZIFA, you are literally throwing your hands in the air to say, ZIFA, you're on your own. You wouldn't be a responsible corporate citizen if you look away. Before I conclude, we have a sheet which is a sponsorship request acceptance or interest, which we are going to give to each and every one of you before you leave, we would like you to look at those options that I showed you, and you can tick on this sheet which option tickles your fancy. All right? You are literally looking at 4 options: associate partner rights, advertising only package, a VIK package. Look, VIK is purely based on the fact that you've got products that you can exchange in a form of goods to compensate for potential use during the tournament. Look, if you have, is there someone from Chicken Inn? You're representing who's there? Okay. Okay, cool. They only, see, you see, that's what I'm talking about. I was only making an example. I'm not saying you should take the VIK option, right? You're a big brand. I see you in the associate partner space because you are a big brand. Though you're not classified as a blue chip, like a bank and all of those, but you are a big brand, right? You are a big brand. We know you because of the players that you've produced through your sponsorship and the team and all the value propositions that as a brand you've managed to bring forth. So we are happy to have you here and everyone else. So it's a simple story that we're selling. Bralunga, where are those copies of ours? There they are. Mark, can you please drop them on each and every brand person that's sitting here? If you are a brand, raise your hand. The lady in red, the gentleman in gray, as if we had an auction, the gentleman in black, the gentleman in maroon, the lady in red, and lots of them I think everyone here. The other lady in red, and from this table it's everyone. Oh, me too. Okay. Even if you are not taking any option, I would like to state that you are not taking an option. Everyone must leave here having signed something, and hopefully it will be a case of we want this and that and that. However, we are here today and tomorrow. We do understand that some of you are not necessarily marketers, but you may be leaders of your businesses. You may feel that there's a need for us to have a conversation with your marketing team. We are here the rest of the day, and we are here tomorrow at your service. At a call, we can come to your institution and make sure that we share this dream with yourselves at a personalized level alongside your marketing team. Ordinarily, how we package rights is we co-curate rights with yourselves. We don't have much time to co-curate. But however, if you consider a global COSAFA sponsorship partnership, we can then co-curate those rights so that they can be best suited to your brand. We don't sell a generic approach. All of you, you've got your business priorities and interests that are different. You've got markets that requires growth. It's not a generic approach to sponsorship. You may be sitting here as a brand where your Malawi OPCO is struggling. Maybe that's where you need more robust marketing. You could make a deal with us which could be implemented in Malawi or wherever else for that matter. So ladies and gentlemen, I thank you, and I will leave it at that. I am not done with you. After this, we're going to have the one-on-ones. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's put our hands together for Mr. Jabu Matiwela there. Just talking us through some of the opportunities that are in store for potential partners for this tournament. And I think there's a big challenge that was laid out for Simbisa there, because Jabu said that you're not a blue chip company. I think this is an opportunity to show him that you are, if not the biggest or one of the biggest companies in Zimbabwe. Show him how blue chip you are. And so thank you so much, Jabu, for that. And just to reiterate, of course, some of the categories that are available for you. associate sponsor, advertising package sponsor, your VIP partner, lodging sponsor, and of course, COSAFA Global Partnership. You'll be at liberty to meet Jabu. There's also, of course, Lunga, who is here. Lunga, again, if you give another wave. That's it. I love how you're South African, right? Hair. Zimbabweans were so stiff about our hair. We like to comb it and make sure it's patted down and it's shaped and so forth. The South African guys just go, yeah, you know what? I'll just wake up, wipe my face, and I'm on the go. Lunga, nice to have you in Zim. So Lunga is available together, of course, with the different members of the COSAFA team that are here present to talk you through the packages and also to tailor-make something for you, because it's not going to be a one-size-fits-all solution for you. They're going to cut the coat according to the cloth, as it were. So please make an effort to see the COSAFA team today and tomorrow whilst they're still here in Zimbabwe. Moving on with our program, it gives me great pleasure to invite forward to the podium the General Secretary of the Zimbabwe Football Association, Ms. Yvonne Manwa, to talk us through the COSAFA Under-17 Championships that will be hosted here in Zimbabwe. Put your hands together for the General Secretary.
Thank you very much, Mike. I notice I'm in theme. I'm matching with the brand. I'm fully invested. Good morning, everyone. We thank you very much for coming through today. We appreciate you coming through to come and have a conversation with us concerning this very important event for us. For me, as the General Secretary, I love everything that Lunga is talking about, but I want to take you through what has brought them all here. So the actual tournament is going to be in September. I'm lucky. I'm not having any challenges with my laptop, So I'm just going to give everybody an overview of the tournament, what will be happening, what games are being played, who's coming through, and what opportunities are there. I like to speak about the tournament because it showcases what we're doing as an association. We're very invested in football itself, and at this stage we're talking about elite football. Someone will ask what elite football is. Elite football is your teenagers, you're almost going on to professional footballers. So that's where the players like our good friend over there came from. They're showcasing their talent from a young age, and an opportunity for these young boys in this case to showcase on a continental stage. You'll find when we go to these games, we're preparing them for the future. We're preparing them to be future stars, and these tournaments allow them to do that. So for us, as exactly as it says on the board there, it acts as a launch pad for national team players. That's where we find our young stars. I know we've been tracking some of the players recently. Some of you might have noticed that there are young players that we've been tracking from the under-15, the Chakuchichis that are there. So these are the launching pads that create these stars, and that we as an association want to participate in and build those stars. From a technical side, it's also where we're developing ourselves. We're strengthening our technical and tactical as an association. So we are inputting our philosophy into those kids, so that when you eventually see them in the main national teams, there's a tactical element to it that you can progressively see as they play. And of course, it allows for you as corporates to come in and invest in these structures. There's a lot that comes out of it. Zimbabwe is really battling with drug and substance abuse, and this is a good way to take them out of those places. You will not, I can't overemphasize the impact that it does when you take those young kids and you're training them on a day-to-day. They've got no time. They learn to be disciplined. They learn to work as a team, which is an important aspect of not just football, but of life. So you as corporates get an opportunity to partner. I always say when you say football, what are you giving back to the to society? But I get to play an opportunity to impact lives. I mean, I've been in a club where you get to see one person changing the life of their family because of playing football. They've built houses for their parents. They've taken their kids to school. So that one person for me is very important. It's an opportunity for you to also maybe pick one or two or more to partner and have a direct impact in their lives. So your role in this tournament is very important. I cannot overemphasize it. And of course, we're going to have 12 countries coming through soon. Everybody's confirmed, right? The 12, and it's cooperation within the region. I mean, we are very proud in this region because COSAFA has 7 countries for the first time going to the AFCON. Sue and team are doing a good job. I need to clap hands for them because it's through these competitions that we practice. We lose that stage fright at the different levels when you go to those COSAFA tournaments. So, and it's building our tactical capacity, as we're saying, and it's building on our strength as teams in those competitions that we run. So, Sue, we thank you for the opportunity to just, as a region, do better and improve our performance. So, I've already mentioned that there are 12 countries coming through. I noticed maybe Comoros and Seychelles are the ones that will not be coming through. Is Mauritius coming? It's still coming? Okay, great. So there's an opportunity to these are the participating nations that are all in the COSAFA region. Very good competition. I mean, there is no small team in these countries at all. They've been giving us all a run for our money in the different competitions that we've been playing in. And it will be an opportunity for some of you that have regional brands to showcase and exhibit at this tournament in September. The actual tournament dates run from the 11th to the 20th of September. The proposed venues were just tying loose ends, Ngoni Stadium and Hart Stadium. Ngoni is in Norton and Hart is here in Harare. We will play a tournament that has 3 groups of 4 teams. And of course, we are the hosting team will be seated in Group A, Zambia will be in Group B, they'll obviously, and Angola will be in Group C. We will get an opportunity to go to if we win, it's a pathway to the Total Energies Under-17 Africa Cup of Nations. It's a big tournament that will also open up an opportunity for us to go to the World Cup as Under-17s. So there is a very interesting pathway, and we've reset, as the president has said, and we're not here to play games. We really want to participate, but we won't take it lying down. We want to also win. We're very competitive. The draw will actually be on Monday the 29th at COSAFA House in Joburg. They will tell us who we'll be really playing with. We know who the group is, who the whole pool is, but we will get to know who we'll be playing with from the 29th of this month. So that's it. I needed to just give you a background, information on what the actual tournament is looking like and how you can come in and play. And we really appreciate you coming, as I said before, and we thank you, and we are looking forward to seeing you and your brands at the tournament. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let's put our hands together for the General Secretary of the Association, Ms. Yvonne Manwa, just giving us an overview of the tournament. I think obviously key things to note, the participating nations, if you are geographically sound, those should be easy for you to identify. The proposed venues, Hart Stadium, as well as Ngoni Stadium, the tournament dates, etc., and how, of course, the teams will be placed in the different groups, with Zimbabwe in Group A seeded, Zambia seeded in Group B, and then Angola seeded in Group C. The draw will take place on Monday the 29th. At midday, so you want to keep, of course, your eyes leveled at the COSAFA social media platforms, just to make sure that you stay in touch and are able to get the news as it happens. So that is the tournament for you. Earlier on, the president and even the general secretary talked about some of the legends, of course, of the game, and we are pleased once again to introduce to you Alois Bunjira. I call him Lue. But he's had several interesting nicknames over the years. He's been called Gaza as well, of course. So Alois Bunjira, please, would you stand up and would you join me up front just for a quick chat? Put our hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for Alois. Alois, of course, a former national team player, an absolute hero with our young warriors in 1995 at the All Africa Games. He wowed the continent with his superlative skills as they just came a match short of winning the gold medal, losing to Egypt in the final. But having beaten Egypt in the opening game, of that particular tournament, and Alois's goals, of course, were at the heart of everything good about the young Warriors. Had a great career, went on from our junior age grade teams, as we've been talking about, through to the national team, had a career, of course, that went to Europe, and eventually settled in South Africa, playing for some of the biggest teams there, Mamelodi Sundowns, Bidvest Wits as well, who we recognize them. I think you played for nearly a decade at Bidvest Wits. That's the team you played quite a long time for. But Alois, what I want to hear from you, of course, is the importance of tournaments of this nature, because you are a product of junior development here in Zimbabwe.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mike. I am indeed a product of junior development. You know, I just want to reiterate that it's very important to actually identify the talent first. You know, a talent cannot be developed before it is identified. And when it's identified, you need a platform to actually play in. So I was born in Hwande Valley. It's like 450 kilometers away from Harare, right there on the border. I think my homestead was about 200 meters from the border with Mozambique. This is to inspire other youngsters that you can go anywhere if you are talented, and most importantly, if you are identified. I was born there, and my parents moved us to Chitungwiza, where I started playing in the streets. That was the first platform that I had. So you need a platform to be identified. I was identified in the street by a guy called Oscar, and I played for Black Wolves under 8. I started playing football at under 8 level, organized football. I went on to play for the World Space under 12s, Black Rhinos under 14s, and eventually I went to Darenti under 16. That's where I was identified. I remember the president also mentioned Grabowski. That's where I was identified. I was identified playing in the Bona League under 16 tournament. That's where the platform was. That was the platform where I was taken in by Grabowski, and from there we played in the under 16 Bona League. But the biggest platform came when we heard about the COSAFA under 17 tournament. That was the tournament that catapulted me into international football. What happened was we heard about it, and there was a provincial tournament that was organized by the Zimbabwe Football Association, and I was playing for Mashonaland East, and we were selected, 50 of us across the whole country, and we went into camp at Manyame Air Base. That was another collaboration between football and the government, because there was an air base. Obviously, it's a government facility, and we camped there, and we were selected to be in the final squad against Zambia. So that was my first ever tournament, international tournament in football, when we played in the COSAFA first round match. Back then, it was not a tournament; it was actually a knockout. It was a knockout tournament. We played against Zambia. Unfortunately, it was only going to be my only match in the under 17 tournament. We got beaten by Zambia in that tournament. But fortunately enough, we were promoted to the under 20 national team, and that year, that's when the tournament format was started. We started in Zambia. Why I like the COSAFA tournament, I think, is because I made a lot of friends there, and Zimbabwean friends and South African friends. That's where I met players like Thabo Muki, the Brian Balois, and in Zambia we had Jimmy Piri, we had James Piri, we had Mwape Mitis, and Namibia. That's where we met the Ricardo Manetti, Ronnie Canalello. You know, in Swaziland there was Sister Monica. I think Lawrence, I forgot his name. We became good friends out of that COSAFA tournament, because we were staying at the university. I think it was University of Matsapa in Swaziland at that tournament. So for me, I look at the COSAFA tournament as the springboard for my international career, because after that we won silver at that tournament, and from that tournament I was one of the best players in Zimbabwe, and from that tournament that's when I was drafted straight into the Zimbabwe senior national team, straight from the under 17s. from the under-17, under-20. I was already now playing for the national under-17, under-20, and the senior team as well. And like Mike said, we were also drafted into the under-23 team as well. So basically, I think I am a very good example of what development of football is. But I cannot be a talent without the platform to be developed. That's why it is very important for us to have structures for development, structures where youngsters can play and be identified and be developed. Because I started from under-8, I got a platform in the street. I went to the under-16s, I got a platform in the Bona League. I went to the national team, I got the platform at the COSAFA tournament. So all these platforms helped in me being developed as a footballer. But not just the platforms, but we also need the people that also participate, the coaches, the scouts, and the sponsors as well, that make it happen. So I really stand here and appreciate the COSAFA for making me the person that I am today, because it started my international career, and that's where I was also noticed when I was playing in the COSAFA. That's how I also moved to South Africa to actually play for Bidvest Vets. I've also seen, when I was there, I've seen players like Knowledge Msona, Kama Billiard. They came to play in the COSAFA tournament in South Africa. That's where they also identified. So I just want to say thank you so much for SAFA for this tournament, because it has been a big, big platform, especially for young Zimbabweans, to actually move to greener pastures, because that's where a lot of us in Zimbabwe identified to actually get into international football and to actually have a better life in football. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Alois. Let's put our hands together for one of the legends of our game, Alois Bunjira, and taking us down memory lane. I love some of the players he talked about there, Ricardo Manetti, and then Thabo Muki. They used to call him Tsiki Tsiki. Great player, played for Kaizer Chiefs. Unfortunately, he played for a rubbish team. There we go. I can see a Kaizer Chiefs fan there. You know, I love him because he's a long-suffering man. They hadn't won a trophy in a decade. Eventually managed to get their hands on silverware recently, but Thabo Muki, Tsiki Tsiki, good player there. Alois, thank you so much. And I think he's a testament to what can happen when corporates, when organizations team up with the Zimbabwe Football Association, not just to get results on the field of play, but also to make a meaningful change off the field of play. And Alois, I think you can tell, is a generational impact. He now, of course, runs his own academy, which is in the process of now grooming and producing players into our football ecosystem here in Zimbabwe. So thank you so much, Alois Bunjira. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite forward. You see, I heard the name perhaps pronounced correctly for the first time today. Was it Daytom? Yes, now we call you Distombis. We've been calling you Distombis for years. For a moment, I was like, good, do they have a new executive director at COSAFA? But that's the correct pronunciation. We learn every day. So, Madam Sue Daytom, we would like to invite you forward, to come forward. She is the COSAFA Executive Director, and she will give us the closing remarks to this event. Let's put our hands together.
Thank you, Mark. Morning, everybody. So, I think I want to start with something that Jabu was saying, and he was putting the challenge out to you marketers about filling in your forms. And you can even say, I'm not going to take up an option. I'm saying that not taking an option is not an option. It's not an option here because we want to invest in youth football in Zimbabwe. We want to see this particular tournament, which is going to allow an opportunity to for the Zimbabwe under-17 boys to be one of the 3 that qualifies for the AFCON next year. It's an annual AFCON now, and it's an annual World Cup. So don't we want to see the Zimbabwe? Is it the Young Warriors, President? Yes. don't we want to see the young warriors be one of those 3 that is going to the AFCON next year and going to the World Cup? Hello? We do. Okay, so what are we going to do? We're going to invest in football here in Zimbabwe. And we're going to take that opportunity that Jabu has said, and he's ready and waiting here in Lunga. It's about investing in football, but it's also about investing in our communities, as President and other speakers have mentioned. And this is one of the modus operandi of COSAFA. It's when we come and do a tournament, whether it is in Zimbabwe, it's in Malawi, it's in South Africa, it's not about coming into a city, into a country, organizing the tournament on the field of play. We finish the tournament, all the rah-rah, there's a winner, etc., and then bye-bye, and we're out of here, and see you in a couple of years' time. It's not about that for us. It's about investing in other communities. It's about plowing back into the communities that host our tournaments. We were here in 2023, where Zimbabwe became the host for the CAF African Schools Championship, which is at under 15 level. And during that tournament, and this is synonymous with what we do with at all our tournaments, is that we roll out legacy programs. Legacy programs in the form of administration and management courses for people within the footballing space, within the sports space. Coaching courses, and specifically what we are focused on at the moment is D-license and grassroots coaching courses, so that one can be talking to the school educators, because where are those children developing? Yes, they're at Aloysius Academy, but they're also playing within the schools, and it's a big focal point. Currently with CAF and with FIFA is the schools football program. So we expect our English teachers and our maths teachers, etc., to know how to coach football, because that's what they've got to do when they're finished. It's extramural, right? So English teacher, go and do your stuff. They may know that the ball is round, but do they know anything else? No. So let's give an opportunity through grassroots and D-license coaching. It can also be plowing back to our legends and our former players, all of whom may not be, as successful as Alois. Maybe they were of an older generation. We need to give them something, a new lease on life. When they've hang up their boots, what are they going to do then? Start, with doing it properly in terms of coaching licenses, and then they can build on that and become an A-licensed coach. There's a big emphasis these days, and it's written into the regulations of CAF, that even at an under-17 level, even at the Women's Champions League that we're about to do as well, that the head coach must have an A license. You're not going to get to an A license unless you've done the D. So these are some of the things and others that COSAFA is involved in terms of our legacy programs. We also do medical workshops, emergency sports medicine on the field of play, media workshops, and then at the same time, and particularly when we are in country, we like to we have a philosophy of grooming people, so that we take people from Zimbabwe, from the Footballer Federation, and have them working, with our media team, with our marketing team, with our general coordinators. It's all about using our football tournaments holistically. It's on the field of play, but it's very much also grooming general coordinators, match commissioners, or the referees, of course, etc., so that they can be ploughing their trade amongst during our tournaments, with a view to being invited to the CAF tournaments. It's been too long that there are too many people, sorry to say, but from the north and the west who get opportunity, and fewer from us. But we are beginning, as Jabu said, even on the field of play, but off the field of play, we are beginning to turn the tide. and we've got to use our tournaments holistically. As I said, the schools tournament took place here in 2023 December, and 10 countries participated, with girls and boys, Zimbabwe being one of them. We saw some fabulous young players coming out of that tournament in 2023, and maybe some of them are in the the Young Warriors a team this year, 2025. Maybe they will find their place in 2027 in the under-20s, the under-20 team, which again will be an AFCON qualifier, and and moving up to the Warriors. So it's a really important tournament. We really are very grateful, President, and your team at Zimbabwe Football Association, for having again grabbed hold of this opportunity. And in a couple of years' time, we will be back here for the COSAFA Cup or the Senior Women's, okay? Because we started here in 1996 with the COSAFA Castle Cup, and had many, many editions of the COSAFA Castle Cup here in Harare. So I've been in this space since the Peter Ndlovu and Norman Mapeza days. And it's always a pleasure to be here. It is a pleasure. And we hope that the success that will come out of this morning's engagement is that ZIFA themselves will have more partners amongst, besides the ones that they've already got, with them. But we want to encourage more of the corporates really to come forward and support the initiatives of Zimbabwe Football Association in resetting their brand. They're on a definite pathway here, but they need assistance, as do we all. COSAFA also needs partners. So in this tournament here, when we will be here in September, we've got 12 teams, which is no small ask. It's a lot of accommodation, a lot of transportation, a lot of everything. But it's an opportunity for us all. It's an opportunity for you, the corporates also, to be putting out your brand, even Mr. Chicken there. Okay, I believe you've also got a bank under your stable. So, we've got plenty to go around. Our tournaments always are televised. We will be looking at doing a partnership deal with one of the broadcasters here, the national broadcasters, or one of the other broadcasters. We are on FIFA Plus, which is a global platform with a lot of viewers, bringing global eyeballs to Zimbabwe. We've also got a YouTube platform which is growing in leaps and bounds. We now have, 50,000 subscribers. So your brands will certainly be visible, both in Harare, in Zimbabwe, but way beyond that. Thank you very much indeed, President. Thank you, Yvonne, Mark, everybody, all of the teams, and to you, the corporates. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much to Sue De Tom there from the COSAFA, and she's the executive director. We thank you so much for that. And she talked about the COSAFA Castle Cup, Kundai, cough, cough, hint, hint. Thank you so much, Sue, for that. And I think, again, the emphasis is very clear that football cannot become what it's supposed to become without partnership, and partnerships at different levels. So we thank you for your words, and we thank you, of course, for the direction that you are giving, and for partnering with the Zimbabwe and believing in the Zimbabwe Football Association. We thank you so much for that. We've come to the end of our official proceedings, but I'm going to kindly ask ZBC if we could just grab hold of our microphone here. We don't want to put it. We just want to take an official photograph with our VIPs. Can someone help me with the podium here, just to shift it? What would all this be without a picture? So may I invite you back, Madam Sue De Tom and President Magwizi. Please come forward. Yes, sir. He's giving me a nod. He's one of our own. We're proud of him. Tis my SADC chairman for sure. Negubora. Please come forward. Yvonne, please. Kuzi, thank you. I know you had a difficult time, and I know I was hard on you about Kaiser Chiefs, but this is my olive branch, please. Now, you see, not whilst Pirates has anything to do with it. There we go. So, I think you could just direct us. Yeah, we are going to invite more people, but for now, we'll start the thing. Yeah. Whilst they make their adjustments. Are we good? Yeah, we can all say Chibage. There we go. Mark, please join us. Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, of course, Mark Ruck is the commercial manager for the Zimbabwe Football Association. Please feel free, even after COSAFA have left over the next couple of days, he's the man to talk to, the man to approach and to have a conversation with regards all issues around partnerships, sponsorships, and of course, commercial activities at the Zimbabwe Football Association. He's working with Tatenda. Where's Tatenda? Tatenda, please come through. Let's see your handsome face and what you're wearing. This is Tatenda. He's part of the commercial department as well. So if you receive a call or an email from a Tatenda, it's not a scammer. It's someone from the association. So are we good for pictures? Lunga, please. Yes, please. We need one maverick at least with a radical hairstyle in there. There we see, hand around. That's it. I like it. That's it. And he's wearing kicks as well. You notice? In Zimbabwe, they would frown upon that, eh? They love you all dressed like bankers for meetings. Yes. Alois Punjira, please. Lue. Yes, Crisscross, Gaza. There's so many. The man from Honde Valley. Yeah. Thank you so much. Let's put our hands together for the event. Ladies and gentlemen, without much further ado, once again, accept my heartfelt thanks and appreciation from COSAFA and the Zimbabwe Football Association for joining us here this morning, and I think just to have this chat around the potential and the opportunities that lie in store ahead of Zimbabwe hosting the COSAFA Under-17 Boys Championships to be played in the month of September. So thank you so much for joining us. And again, there's going to be a breakaway session for those who want to get more information, for those who want to partner immediately. You know, there are some guys who want to move immediately. Kundai, I can feel that. But for those of you who just want to get clarity and just want to have a chat around those opportunities, the team is in place to have a chat with you. Lunga is here, of course, and also Mark is there, and the rest of the team is on standby to have that conversation with you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us here this morning. Thank you.